All right, folks, we got a few minutes left. We're going to take a few minutes here to rapid fire answer some of your questions in the chat board. Ashley is the gatekeeper. She's picking which questions get asked, so be really nice to her.
Yeah, girl.
And here's Ashley, what do we got?
Will Krieger writes, due to the success of the film, do you think we will see a sequel to Gravity?
You know,
It doesn't need it.
it absolutely doesn't need it, but, I mean, no film needs a sequel. I don't think they will. I think they're going to let this one. I don't even know how you would do it. So it's
gravitas.
Hey, I guarantee you, somewhere in a boardroom at Warner Brothers, the discussion has taken place. Is there a way we could sequelize this? But I don't think it's going to happen.
She's on
guys.
an island. What island is she on? There's an adventure there.
It becomes a Lost.
Yeah.
all of a
Ooh.
sudden.
Yeah, how about no gravity?
Oh, what if she gets up after crawling out of the water and she runs into the cast from Lost?
Boom!
Boom! You got it right there.
Anti-gravity, bam!
All right, what's next?
Ronald Donahue writes, hello AMC MT Rocks. Do you think that a horror movie will ever win an Academy Award for Best Picture?
It's possible. It would take a different kind of horror movie,
Yeah.
I think. It would take a horror movie that is heavy on the drama and the narrative and stuff like that. Whereas most horror movies, they aren't that because they don't want to be that. They want to be the more visceral. Horror movies are at their best, to me personally, when they're visceral and they really just get you on an emotional level and it gets your blood flowing. That's when I have my most fun with the horror
That's my
movie.
stuff right there.
I don't know that I'd be into a horror movie that is also made in such a way that it would gain Academy attention. What
It's
do you guys
very
think?
niche. I mean, I'm always pro horror movies. I would talk about that all the time because I love that experience. I love the adrenaline. I love seeing it in a live audience, and it's just one of the best times ever. And you know, a lot of horror movies, they're very niche, and it just doesn't appeal to the wide audience as much. I mean, look at all these films that are made for very little money and they still don't make a lot of money. The parodies do, the horror spoofs still make money, but the really niche ones, I mean, I could see it more winning for like Best Original Screenplay, like Cabin in the Woods. I would have loved to see that. That was such a clever, you know, fusion of so many different genres, definitely rooted in horror, and I love that. But yeah, as a Best Picture, I just think that it's very niche, and for the Best Picture wins, it tends to be, you know, cinematic achievements or social causes. That tends to be really where the Academy falls. Like, look at the films this year: American Hustle, 12 Years a Slave, and Gravity. Those are the three frontrunners that cross off for all three of those. So, I mean, it could happen. I would love horror movies to get more attention, but I don't see it as of now because that's not really their intention.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see horror movies ever needed to be validated by the
Exactly.
Oscar.
I agree.
The
I
Oscar
agree.
falls into its own categories of validations, as in dramatic, like you said, socio-economic commentaries, political, kind of those. That's where biographies. That's where it kind of falls into. And you know, once in a while, like a fantasy, like Lord of the Rings will win, like 12 years
Yeah.
ago. But horror so far, not so much. I think Frederick March won for Jekyll and Hyde back in the 30s. He actually won an Oscar. And we also saw like Heath Ledger won a posthumous Oscar for The Joker, which is all intents and purposes a horror character.
In many
Yeah.
ways.
Yeah, definitely.
So certain actors have been nominated and won. I can't think of right now off the top of my head of a movie that got nominated. I was like, did The Exorcist or did Rosemary's
Baby, that's what I was thinking.
You know, if you guys look it up and see what horror movie actually got nominated and didn't win, there's been a few that have been nominated. But honestly, as a horror fan, I don't care if it ever gets nominated for the Oscars because it's in a different realm for me.
Exactly.
I love horror films, and they have horror awards. They have a lot of them.
Yeah, they do.
nowadays. Every year, there's at least 5 or 6 big, festivals that give out horror awards, and that's where I think that's where it should.
We're
stay.
growing.
Yeah.
We're growing.
Okay, let's get through a few
Sorry,
more really
that was
quick
long.
here.
Mike Smith writes, would you like to see a Rush Hour 4 movie?
No, hell no, 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 no.
No.
Guys?
No.
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 I liked Rush Hour 2 very much, by the way. I liked Rush Hour 2
And 1.
very much, but no.
No.
Andrew Johnson writes, what are your top anticipated movies?
That's too
Broad.
general, too broad of a
Star
question.
Wars. Yeah, how about that?
Star Wars, Batman, Superman,
Avengers.
Avengers
Bunch of
2.
Avengers.
Yeah. So too broad.
Other cool movies.
Kyle Marquise writes, flops. If an actor has been in too many flops, how much could that ruin their career?
A lot actually.
I think actors get more flops than like writers and directors. Like a writer or director, if they have like one big $100 million flop, you're like not working for 10 years. But an actor, because they line up a bunch of movies, they could be in a flop, but then get another 4 more chances of big releases.
Do okay and be fine. But you appear in a movie that just does badly, and then all of a sudden you're seeing. Honestly, I think we talked about the new Joe Carnahan film, Stretch. That was supposed to be coming out with Jason Lee?
Patrick Wilson,
Patrick Wilson and Chris Pine, right? Well, guess what? After the new Jack Ryan film starring Chris Pine didn't do so well, Universal suddenly announces they're not releasing Stretch anymore. Sometimes it doesn't even take that many flops in a row.
I think of Taylor Kitsch.
Taylor
He
Kitsch,
starred in John Carter and
Battleship.
Battleship, 2 flops. He was just in Lone Survivor. He was fantastic in that. So as a starring role, I feel like he's going to have to build momentum again. But he's a really talented actor.
He's very talented.
Yeah, but it's sad. It does affect it.
Jamie Garcia writes, "Hey guys, what are your favorite bad movies of all time? Thanks and keep up the great work."
No, Schnepp and I, we got the neural link here.
Right.
It is easily Vanilla Ice as Cool as Ice.
Yeah, Cool as Ice.
It is.
If you've never seen it, you gotta see it.
You know what? Seriously, I would love to rent AMC Burbank Theater one night and get a print of Vanilla Ice Cool as Ice and just have a big Sons of AMC movie watching
and
party.
get Vanilla Ice to show up in
And
person.
get Vanilla Ice to show up.
Come on, Vanilla.
It is so awful, but so brilliant.
I
at the same
have
time.
a requirement for that. You have to do some breakdancing.
All right, I'll pop and lock. And then one of my all-time favorites is Battle Beyond the Stars. So if we could do a double feature,
Space Cowboy.
get Sybil Danning there. Come on,
All right, 2 more.
Okay.
Space Cowboy.
Cole Hardcastle writes, "Why do you think Toy Story 3 was so similar to Toy Story 2? I feel like they could have done more with the story, but didn't."
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It was phenomenal.
That Toy Story 3 was on another level, not just talking quality-wise, but emotion-wise. They went into some real adult themes actually in Toy Story 3. I can't validate the question
about family being together, death. There was a lot of things
Death,
that
loss,
happened.
endings.
If you didn't cry in the last 10 minutes of Toy Story 3, I'm convinced you might not have a soul.
I saw very, very few similarities between the 2 films.
Oh, I loved
An
that
android
movie.
robot asked the question.
Okay, what's next?
A East 94 writes, "With Sony planning on doing a bunch of villain movies, is there a better chance for Marvel doing a Loki standalone movie?"
I don't think they have any plans for a Loki standalone movie, but if Sony puts out Sinister Six and Venom and audiences love them and they make a lot of money, damn. You're damn right that that Marvel will be putting the Loki film into development pretty damn quick.
Yeah. Might I suggest
love to
a
watch
Loki standalone little 5-minute short, like how they do all those little shorts? They've
Yeah.
got Ben Kingsley in one.
Yeah.
Why not do Loki for one of them?
Loki to Marvel is definitely Ledger to DC in terms of just how much love and people got behind those performances.
Yeah.
But Loki has the charisma and the playfulness, and I would just freak out.
As great as Ledger's Joker is,
Yeah.
maybe the greatest performance in any comic book movie in history, there's more you can do with Loki.
Oh, yeah.
There's more
Much more
There's much
playful.
more stuff you can do there with Loki. Okay, let's take one more and then we'll call it a day.
Okay, Bantha writes, "Will we ever see a remake of Star Wars Episode 4?
A New Hope. I've always said this. Everybody knows Star Wars is my religion. There's no bigger Star Wars fan than me, and I'm okay with the Star Wars remake. I am at some point, because if it sucks, then I still got the original. Near and dear to my heart, doesn't matter. But with now Disney moving forward with the universe, if it ever does happen, I'm telling you, it's 20 years away. Minimum 20 years away.
Did you say Bantha asked the question?
Yes.
That's a great. I didn't even catch that as a
I was
name.
like, did you say Bantha or Bantha?
Bantha.
Yeah. What's up,
Don't
Bantha?
touch it. I don't want you to touch it, personally.
I personally think that they're going to have Pixar redo all the original 6 as animated films.
That's
At
not
some point,
far-fetched
that can
idea.
happen.
Yeah.
I think they're going to do it sooner than later. That's my guess.
I doubt it, but it's certainly within the realm of possibility.
In the Clone Wars fashion.
If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to AMC Movie News on YouTube. It's free and a great way to stay updated with all the latest movie news and check out our daily show, AMC Movie Talk. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter to stay in the loop for our special prizes, giveaways, and contests.